You see, the beast is the same as the harlot. The false prophet is the same as the harlot's daughters. And the dragon is the same as the kings. In other words, at the end of time, there's going to be a threefold alliance between the beast or the harlot, the false prophet and the daughters, and the kings or the dragon. And they're going to all join together in opposition against God's people. Those are the three parts of Babylon. But who is the main protagonist of the story? Who is the one who's moving all the strings? It is the harlot or the beast. Because the Bible says that the whole world wondered after the beast. It says that the harlot sits upon multitudes, nations, tongues, and peoples. In other words, the beast and the harlot do the same thing. They control basically the world. And the kings go along, and the daughters also go along. Just like in the story of Elijah. Now, let me ask you, are the kings eventually going to hate this system? Revelation 17, verse 16. Of course, all of this is coincidence. I don't think so. There's too many parallels. Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, those represent kings. You can read in Revelation 17. These will what? Hate the harlot, make her desolate, and what? Naked, eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. Let me ask you, in the light of all of this, what does God invite His people to do? Let me ask you, are there a lot of God's people in these systems? Are there a lot of people that belong to this system which is known as the harlot? Oh, sure. Are there a lot of God's people in the system that's known as the false prophet? Absolutely. Are there many of God's people even among the kings of the earth or the rulers of the earth? Absolutely. So what does God say to them? Revelation 18, verses 1 to 5. After these things I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great authority. And the earth was illuminated with his glory. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird. Does that sound like a place that you want to be? Now, why has Babylon become like that? Filled with demons and evil spirits. Verse 3, for, that means because all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Why is she filled with demons? Because every person has drunk her what? Her wine. So we need to know what the wine is. It says the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants, see, even the business people of the world, the merchants of the earth have become rich through the abundance of her luxury. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people. God has a people in this system. In this threefold system, God has a people. And God is calling them out, because notice what it continues saying. Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, and lest you receive her what? Her plagues. How many are her plagues? 7. For her sins have reached to heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Question. Is God going to have a faithful remnant at the end of time? What are they going to have on their forehead? The seal of God. What are the wicked going to have? Could that have something to do with sun worship? Are you understanding me or not? And what's going to happen to those who do not have the seal of God? They will be what? They will be destroyed by the wrath of God. That's why God, in His love, see, this is not a message of hate. In His love, God says, I have people in Babylon. Come out of her, my people. Don't stay in there. Because if you stay in there, you're going to receive her plagues. Because the plagues are for her. And of course, the big question is, will we accept the call of God and come out of Babylon and be among those who keep the commandments of God?